Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Stampin' Designs. My name is Karen and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Central New Jersey, and we are going to make a card today. How's everyone doing today? It's a little bit on the chilly side here. Okay, I'm just checking to see. Oh, I'm actually almost straight today. It's amazing how everything is always straight when I start, I'm looking through the camera, and then all of a sudden it gets crooked. All right, we are going to get started. I am using the new Nature's Prints, I guess the whole suite I'm using today, because this all you can buy, and I can actually show it to you in the catalog now. Okay, it's called the Sun Prints suite, and the collection it's the bundle, the Nature's Prints bundle, the fern embossing folder, and this is all cut up, but the Sun Prints DS, or is it Sun Prints? Yes, it is Sun Prints DSP. Okay, so you can get the whole. You can buy everything for one price for the $76.75, or you can buy it in small, piece by piece. Hi, Gloria. Thanks for joining. Hey, Rosie. Thanks for joining. Jillian. How's everyone doing today? All right, we are going to get started because this one here, it's a little bit of a challenging fold. I did not do anything because of the cuts, and also I just left everything that I'm going to do live. I am starting with a panel of I'm using the thick basic white today because I'm not doing any layers. Hi Donna, thank you for joining. It is 5.5 by 10.5. Okay, now I am getting the cutting blade out of the way. I am going to score it at 3.5, and then I'm going to score it again at 7. So the 3 panels are all 3.5 inches. Okay. Now when I practiced this one, I originally did it on my my mind just went blank. With my trimmer. But I am going to do it. I found it to be a little bit easier. Before I go any further, hang on a minute. This is the graph that I drew. With the fold lines, it's kind of like a little bit of an origami fold. Hey Amy, thanks for joining. Hi Karen, thank you for joining. So I will post a picture or post this on my blog, because I always encourage everybody to make the fun fold and then share it on my my Facebook page. I will be posting it on Friday on my Facebook page. So if you do make this card, in the comments, post your take on the card. All right. I'm trying to read comments, but they went by. I see Karen's here, Barbara's here, Kiko's here. Thanks everyone for joining. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I found this to be the easiest way. Okay. On the first fold line, I am going to come down 2 inches and just make a little mark. And you want to just make a pencil mark so that you can erase it. Not that you're even going to really be able to see that. And then on the second fold line, you're going to go up 2 inches. Okay? And this is where I found it to be easier using my piercing mat. Get my ruler back. So I am going to go from my pencil mark, I have a stylus, from the pencil mark to the corner, and I'm just going to score it. Like I said, I found it easier doing it this way than trying to fit it into the trimmer. I'm going to go from this pencil mark to this, the second fold line. I'm just trying to make sure I'm in the camera. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same here from the pencil mark to the first fold line. And then again from the pencil mark to the corner. Okay. And then once you get all those in, I'll get my bone if I can get anything out. Okay, once you get those in, you're done with that, and I'm just going to erase the pencil mark. Like I said, you can, I made a very small mark, so sorry if I'm shaking the camera. All right, so this fold line, the bottom half is going to be a mountain fold, and then the top half is a valley fold. Okay, and then once we get it all folded, that's when I'm going to burnish it a little bit. Okay, so that is the first one. Once you start folding it, it all does fold, believe me. The paper's moving. That's going to go that way. That's that way. And that one. And that one. Okay? Then this fold line, the top part is a valley fold. The bottom part is the mountain fold. And then these two are the valley fold. So again, let's go just part of the way and bring this way. Oops. These will go. I may not have scored it. There we go. That. And that. Okay. So there's your card. Now we're just going to decorate it. It's a little pop-up. And then once you have it all folded in place, you can go over it, and you want to burnish it a little more. It just takes, like I said, it's like origami. You have to play around with it at first. I cannot wait to see yours, Jillian. Jillian always posts her cards. Okay, and since I did it, hang on a minute. Something's backwards here on the, oh boy. Yep, that's what I thought. This one has to go the opposite way. There we go. I think I had it the first time, and I think I just flipped the card backwards. What you want is, I did have it right the first time. So you want this like this. This piece is going to be your back piece. So it is smaller than your regular card. It is a 3.5 by 5.5. So it will fit in the envelope. Okay. Okay. Now for the decorating. This is where it gets a little tricky. I have 2 panels of the sun print. Hey, Catherine, thank you for joining. The Sun Prints DSP. And I do need my trimmer back. And what we have to do, again, you're going to be marking it with a pencil, but this one you will not see at all. So this piece is going to go here. So we have to come down and mark this side first. And we're going to mark it at the 1 7/8 inch mark. And we just, like I said, we're just going to make a little tiny mark that I hope I can see it. You can barely see it. So we're going to cut it from the corner to my 1 7/8 inch mark. Like that. Okay, we're going to just set that piece there. And this one is going to go on this side, so we're going to come up 1 7/8 inch. Here's my pencil. And we're just going to make a little mark again. And then we're going to cut from the mark to the corner. I'm going to hold my breath here that I'm cutting this the right way. There you go. Yep. Okay. We are going to need the trimmer again, but we're going to just adhere these pieces down. And I'm going to use liquid glue. Liquid glue is almost empty, I think. I'm going to use the liquid glue just so I have a little bit of extra wiggle room. We're going to put that right there. All right, and then this piece, we're going to line it up. And something's not right here. I folded it. Okay, bear with me for a second. I need to fix this one score line. I went a little bit off. It's okay. Luckily, the paper will cover. That's what I said. I didn't. It was hard though getting it in the trimmer. That's why I did it on the. And it worked fine when I practiced. Always works fine when you practice. Doesn't quite work as well. If I use this side, if I can go a little deeper. See if that helps. Let's get this out of the way. There we go. There's my. That's a little better, and that piece of paper just went flying. It's all right. I knew I was up for a challenge when I was doing this one. Actually, last Friday, Jamie and I were working on it together because she sent me a picture and wanted to know how to make it. So I figured it out, and when I did it last week and before, everything figured out perfectly. Okay, so now this piece will now go here, and it will fit properly. All right. Sorry about that. Really, Catherine? All right. And then this will go right there. I'm just lining up here. Okay, I think I got this one right though. This one fold line is really bothering me. It's just not folded there. I think I'm having trouble because when I practiced doing it, I was using regular cardstock, and the thick basic white is just that little bit thicker. Okay, then this one is going to go this way. And we're going to hope we have this fold line right. And this will go right down there. So your borders on your top and bottom, I haven't quite figured out the exact, I mean, oops, it's not folding. Oh my goodness. There we go. Not quite sure what's going on here today. There we go. Okay. For the center panel, we have another panel of basic white. And what I'm going to do is on the top, I need to mark at 1 7/8 again. And then the same thing, because we're going to cut from there and we're going to cut from this side. So this side, we're marking at 1 7/8 also. I think I marked this one wrong. Hold on. I did. I marked this at 1 3/4. Okay. So these are the marks where we're going to cut, but I'm not going to cut yet. I want to do the stamping and decorating, and then I'll cut it. Okay. So I have the sentiment, heartfelt thanks, or heartfelt thank you. And I'm just going to stamp. I need to make sure it's just below this line here. Actually, I can put it just to the side a little because we're going to be, oh, I can't see if I'm straight. I sure hope I'm straight because, well, I can flip the paper over if I'm not. And I have to flip the paper over. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to mark that 1 7/8 again, and mark this 1 7/8, and we're going to hope to get it a little bit straighter this time. And actually, I see what part of the problem is. There's some ink. I keep forgetting how juicy some of these ink pads are, and with the weather changing, they get a little bit juicier. Okay, so we're going to put this little bit over this way. There we go, that's a little better. And then I do need this. I am going to stamp this. I'm not sure what the image is. I want to say fern, but I know it's not a fern. Kind of wheatgrass? I'm going to have to go back and read. I'm seeing all these comments going up and I'm missing them all. So we're going to stamp it off once. And then I'm just going to stamp that there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm just going to stamp right there. And then with the Pacific point, we're going to stamp off a couple times with this one. And I'm going to bring this right like that. And again, I'm going to stamp off twice with this. Just have a light, I just wanted a light image. And then I'm going to close this ink before I end up with it all over me. All right, and let me move the stamp so I don't get it on my card. Now we are going to cut again. And we're going to cut from the little mark that I made at 1 7/8 to the corner. And I think the paper moved. Oh boy. This is not working for me. Yeah. And this is where I get ready to throw in the towel and say, okay, we'll try again another time. But I'm determined that I'm not going to. By the time I'm done with this, everybody's going to know how to make this card. And you're all going to do a wonderful job, and you're all going to post it and share with me without making any mistakes. Scrap paper. Okay. Now I'm stamping off twice. Stamp that. Oops, let me get this out of the way. We're actually going to put 2 of them. Hold it a little tighter this time. Cut that piece. Okay, I see what I did. I did it right. I was holding it wrong. All right, we're going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal. And this piece will fit right in here. I'm trying to make sure my thank you is straight. Probably should have used liquid glue, but and we're going to put this one right like that. And this piece will be just like this. And we're going to make sure we, oops, going to make sure we line it up. Jeez, I'm having a day here. Okay. There we go. Now, we're going to make a belly band. Hopefully I have better luck with that. I actually have a 1.5 inch strip of the same thick basic white. And I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how well you can see it. I embossed it with the Fern embossing folder. So when doing the belly band, you don't want to make it tight because you want to be able to slip it on and off. So I'm going to just center that. I'm going to have to, I know I'm going to have to trim this because this was a, I believe it was an 11 inch piece, and then I just trimmed a little bit of it off. I'm not real good at the measuring for the belly band part, but you want to make sure you can slide it on and off. So and actually what we're going to do, the embossed part will be on the front and on the back, but we're going to overlap because I already pre-stamped. I have the sentiment and I have other pieces that I cut. And I'm going to adhere the belly band with tear and tape because I want to make sure it stays closed. And we're going to just trim this just a little bit. So I think, and nobody's going to really see it because you're going to have all your little decorations. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, that's the extent of my fussy cutting for today. Lost my glue folder. There we go. And before I put the tear and tape, I want to make sure it's the right size. Since I didn't score it. So, yeah. So that's good. So I'm going to just put a couple pieces of the tear and tape to hold it. There. And we'll put a piece here. Now, And like I said, you don't want to like pull it tight or anything, because you want to make sure it's going to slip on and off. Which that will. Now I can give it a good little burnish. And I'm sorry if I'm shaking the camera there. Okay. So there's the sentiment. I did heat emboss this. This is the sentiment from the Nature's Prints. And I embossed it in white. And then I have all these little pieces that I cut out, and I wasn't, I wasn't sure what I was using, so I just cut a bunch of little pieces out. And these are all using the dies that I do with my dies. Oh, right in front of me. Oh boy. Okay, so I cut 4 of these, and then I cut these 3. And this was the die I used for the sentiment. And then I had I'm calling this wheatgrass because I'm not sure what it's called, and I don't know if anybody said anything in the comments, but I'm going to call it wheatgrass for now. I used this to cut that out. All right. And we are just going to, I'm just going to kind of place them the way I think I would want them. And it doesn't matter, the stems are going to be sticking out. That's fine. I'm going to trim them down a little bit before I adhere anything. But I want to do it, I'm going to take this out of the way. So we just have the belly band to work with. I want to do it with the belly band so I have an idea, because I can't go past, well, I actually can go past there a little bit because the card is only 3.5 and the envelope is for a 4 1/4. So it will fit. And then we're just going to kind of put these, once I have that part, I'm going to move that out of the way. And you know what, since I know I'm going to have to trim these down, let's give them a little trim now. And then we'll put one behind, one in the front. And I'll do the same thing because I'm a very symmetrical kind of person, as my husband continuously tells me. So then once you have everything the way you want it, and normally you could take a picture with your camera, but I can't because my camera's being used. But I do have an idea of the way I want everything. So I'm just going to kind of separate it. I'm going to adhere these two together. I'm going to start by adhering them with a glue dot, since these are the main 2 pieces that I'm holding together. Okay, and then we're just, like I said, we're going to put the one behind, and I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue, if I could find what I did with it. And what I'm actually going to do, so it doesn't stick to my paper, is I'm going to pull this all out. Hold on. I feel like I'm all thumbs today. So we'll have a piece under there and a piece here. And again, you're not going to see it because this is going to cover it up. Okay, so we're going to just put a little bit of liquid glue on these just to hold them. And I'm just putting like little dots, that's it. And then I'll put a couple on the top. Again, I'm just putting little dots. Whoops. Guess my one moved. There we go. And put the other one. Just like that. And I'm sticking to myself. And I'm going to, once I have all this, that's why I'm not using a lot, but once it's all put together, I'm going to pop this on with dimensionals on the belly band. Oops, see, this one needs to come out a little bit. Just want to make sure there's still glue on that. And that one's just to add a little bit more color. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue right here on this so that my sentiment sticks to it. And then everything will get adhered to the belly band with dimensionals. Now that I have a nice gluey mess, and we're going to put it right here. So see, you're not going to really see where I did not, because the embossing folder only hit so much. I had it on, where's the emboss? What I did, I mean, this is a smaller piece, but to get to emboss it, I took a piece of the white, the basic white, and I put it on an angle like this. Okay, and then I just trimmed a little because it didn't fit through my embossing, the cut and emboss machine. So I just snipped a little bit so it would fit through. And that's how I got it embossed, but I knew I was going to be covering the front up. So let's pop this on with dimensionals. Excuse me. I would have been done in a half hour if I didn't make a mess on the card. My folding would have folded the way I wanted it to. This straight. There we go. And this is, again, the card. And you have a little bit of room to write. Not a lot. And I promise I'll go back and look at comments when I'm done. There we go. So that's the card. Do a really quick envelope. And I just have another piece of the DSP. This was what was left from what I cut off. These pieces were 6 by 6. So anybody that's getting my paper share, you have enough to make this card. You have enough for the envelope and for the card. The only thing you want to be careful is when you make this is if you use paper that's directional. It's the only thing you want to be careful about, because that's why I had all different paper I was picking, but then if something didn't line up, it was really bothering me. All right, let me just grab my scrap piece again. We're going to stamp the envelope front a little bit, and we will be done. And thank you for hanging in there with me. I like the stamped off. It gives it a little bit softer of a look. And the only other thing I wanted to do, and these do not come in the suite. I'm going to start dropping things soon. I wanted to put a couple of the iridescent rhinestones, just to give it a little bit of bling. And they're these are really hard to see. At least I think they are. But you can see them in person. It's just, they're hard to see in like in a picture. Couldn't think of the word. All right, there we go. So we got the, like I said, once you get those folds going, you're fine. And I will post my the directions, all the directions. It will be easier with this one if you watch the video and do it, because I just have a feeling I'm going to have a little bit of trouble explaining this one. All right, thank you everybody for joining. I hope you like the card, and I will plan on being back here next Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and I actually have something in mind that I'm going to do. Next week's might be a little bit easier, might go a little smoother, I'm hoping. All right, thank you for joining, and I hope you all have a wonderful week and a great weekend. See you next week. Bye-bye.